first of all, Miles, we've been had the conversation about him and Stockton. That's
not
always
you.
Yes,
you want to put it to the.
You know what?
You want to put it to the conversation.
Yeah, you are forced into the conversation.
Yes.
Right. And the reason why is because Lowe is trying to tell me that that Joker is a better passer than Stockton, period. That's what Lowe's trying to see. And that's not true. That is not true. No,
so what changed? So what's changed?
No,
but now you're willing to have.
So what's changed?
So I'm willing to. Well, first and foremost, number one. First and foremost, number one, he's not a better passer than Stockton. Okay. I'm willing to have a conversation that he's just as good.
Wait, Showtown, is the Jokic Stockton passing debate debatable at this point?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We can have a conversation. Yes,
okay, I'm going. I'm gonna leave. This is Mars, you know so crazy.
I don't think he's a better passer, but we can talk about it.
Mars.
So you don't want to put me in a chokehold anymore?
Nor
me. Wait, before we go, Mars. On the scale of 1 to 10, in the regular season, what was Jokic as a passer?
10.
What has he been in the playoffs?
10.
I think he's been
9.5. 9.
Exactly.
I don't know if
he hasn't even been his best. He hasn't even been the best version of himself as a passer in the playoffs.
Yeah, consistently. The Phoenix series, I'd say he was a 10.
Yeah,
what's the point, Lo?
The point is that you're making this assessment just because he went to the finals when he's actually been a worse passer in the playoffs.
No,
was in the regular season.
So you're talking about you're talking about a worse passer. You're talking about a worse passer statistically. That's what you're talking about.
I think he's averaging more assists.
He's averaging more assists. I'm saying, yeah, he had more. He averaging more assists.
Hasn't been that great.
His passing was not that good in the Lakers series. It was nothing special. He was just getting help one pass away.
Right.
He averaging more assists and I'm all talking about what I'm watching. He's a worse passer in the playoffs than he was in the regular season. He's a worse.
Well, we first of all, Miles, we've been had the conversation about him and Stockton. That's
not
always
you. You want to put it to the.
You want to put it to the conversation. Yeah, you are forced into the conversation.
Yeah,
right. And the reason why is because Lowe is trying to tell me that that Joker is a better passer than Stockton. Period. That's what Lowe's trying to see. And that's not true. That is not true. No,
what changed? So what's changed?
No,
but now you're willing to have.
So what's changed?
I'm willing to. Well, first and foremost, number one. First and foremost, number one, he's not a better passer than Stockton. Okay. I'm willing to have a conversation that he's just as good, or he's a great, or he's a great passer. I'm willing to have that conversation. But the problem that I'm having with Lowe is trying to sell me based on what he's seen in this time that John Stockton, Nikola Jokic is a superior passer to him. And that is not true.
Now I gotta play the ticket role.
No, I know.
I'm disgusted at you, Chilltail.
Oh my God!
I'm disgusted.
Oh my God!
I can't believe this, Chilltail.
Chill. What is changed? What's changed?
Don't let him knock you off your pivot, Chill.
No. What's changed, Chill?
The reason why I'm willing to have this conversation because I'm looking at what Joker is doing right now, and I'm thinking to myself, there's no reason why, considering where he is in his career, that this can't continue. That's why I'm willing to. What part of this are you clueless about? I'm willing to have this conversation because I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about if this continues. This could be legit. So I'm willing to have this conversation right now, considering what I'm seeing from Joker right now, what I'm seeing from him right now. If he could continue on this and he could continue doing this, which is why I don't think he can't. There's no reason for me to think that he can't continue to do this. From what I'm seeing, if he could continue on this, we can actually have a conversation about him being in the conversation with guys like John Stockton, with guys like Magic.
But Chill, do you realize?
We can start having a conversation.
Do you realize Lowe's point though? Lowe's point is let's say if Jokic got out the first round, but still like passed the same exact way he's been doing, you would still be mad at this conversation. The fact that he's about to make it to the finals, you're willing to have this conversation now. That's what Lowe's point is.
Right. And if you remember what the criteria was with me, I don't know if you remember this, Doug, when I said I care about what you did. I care about when you did it. I care about who you did it against, and I care about how long you did it. So when you're going deep into
how long, yes,
right. So when you're going deep into the playoffs, when I'm looking at what's going on with Joker right now, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking at this Denver team. Joker is still relatively young. What is he, 28, 29, something like that? Yeah. So he's 28. So there's no reason, barring any injury, for me to think that they can't continue on this trajectory. And if they can continue on this trajectory, considering what Joker is doing, we can have a serious conversation about putting him in that conversation with Stockton, with James, with Matt. We can start doing that as opposed to, he's a better passer than John. He's a better passer than John Stockton, and it's not a question. No way. I'm not doing that.
I'm sorry, Ron. It just sounds like it's again a winning bias. And if that's the case, and longevity, because you did say that, and if that's the case, that means that how did you view John Stockton before 97 as a passer? How did you view Chris Paul? How did you view Chris Paul as a passer before 2018 when he never made the conference finals? To me, that's just a really bad way to assess off a skill level, not off of success, not off of greatness. If you want to say off of career and longevity, he's a greater passer, fine. But off of just who's a better passer skill wise, ain't got nothing that you can get. You can never make the playoffs a day in your life and still be a better passer than somebody else.
Well, here's the thing, though, Lo, and that's a good point. But like I just said to Dub, I care about when you did it. So when you talk about the Utah Jazz, they was in the Western Conference Championship 5 times in 7 years. They were making deep runs into the playoffs, and John Stockton was very much a part of that. Not only was he a part of that, he was consistent in his ability to pass, making great passes, getting guys involved. So, like I just said about Joker, if he could continue on this trajectory, and from a skill standpoint, I can't just go from a skill standpoint because I care about production too. Like, what did that produce? So
I don't want to waste time on this. You can go ahead and go. This is such a.
I appreciate that you're willing to have the conversation. I take the little victories.
I'm not. I can't.
Yeah,
because the most success that they had was when Stockton passing regressed. When he wasn't getting the same amount of assists, when he wasn't relied on as a passer, his assist numbers actually went down. When Stockton was averaging those 15 plus assists in the postseason, that's when they were getting knocked out in the first round and the second round. But when they started making deeper postseason runs, his assist numbers went from like 12 to 15 to like 10 to 8. But again, I don't want to.
Well, that logic doesn't work, Lo, because you just mentioned to me that Joker is a worse passer now than he was a year ago, and now you just telling me that you just mentioned about Joker in these Western Conference Finals. He's a worse passer
in the regular. Yeah, he wasn't a regular season.
Right, but then you turn around and tell me that John Stockton, that doesn't work because his passing numbers went down. So which one is it?
No. In the playoffs, Jokic averaged 10 assists. In the Western Conference Finals, he averaged like 10, 11 assists. Right. In the regular season, he averaged 9 assists.
Right.
I'm talking, it don't matter. Jokic could have averaged 30 assists. Depending on the way that he got the assists is what I'm talking about. The way he got his assists and the type of passes that he was doing are significantly worse than what he was doing, in my opinion. It's worse than what he was doing in a regular season, because the way he got his assists for the most part in the playoffs had way more to do with just dribble handoffs, and they were doubling one pass away, and he was just making a simple read. But the passes that I'm talking about that he does that separates him from everyone else, not like
throwing the ball, like throwing the ball between his legs and
all that stuff
over the net.
He hadn't even had to really make skip passes like that this postseason.
And I can make the same argument about John Stockton, 45 feet away, throwing the ball one hand off the dribble and firing it to Malone or firing it to Jeff Hornacek in transition. I can make that same argument.
Joy, wait,